My friend Ron travels the world with Franklin Graham, and one day Franklin told him about a visit to America's deadliest prison, Louisiana State Penitentiary, where the warden, Burl Kane, offered him a tour. "All 5,100 men will die here," Kane said. When Franklin was shown one of the simple birch plywood caskets the inmates are buried in, he was struck by its simplicity and beauty. Believing it was symbolic of his parents' lives, he ordered 2 of them. Talk about a great birthday gift, huh? Kane said, "We'll fix them up real nice for you." Franklin refused, insisting they be built just as if they were for the inmates. A few days after celebrating her 87th birthday, as Ruth Graham's family stood around her bed singing "Great is Thy Faithfulness," she passed into the presence of Jesus. Ruth Bell Graham was buried in a simple wooden box, handcrafted by death row inmates. You know, when we leave this earth, we won't take much. You can't buy saddlebags for your coffin. But we do leave footprints everywhere we go. The richest people I know are those who leave the right things behind. When I was 10, I wanted to smoke as many cigarettes as I could, but I had no money. So a friend and I picked up every cigarette butt we could find on the street, and we smoked them right down to the filters. And unlike certain U.S. presidents, we inhaled, believe me. One fine Wednesday, our dreams came true. Discarded in a deserted ditch was the desire of our hearts, a package of filter-tipped cigarettes, unopened and beckoning. And stripping the plastic off, we divided the pack evenly, 10 apiece, and we smoked them right down to the filters. After staggering back to the non-smoking zone, my friend was caught yellow-handed by his mother. But I was older, I was wiser, I knew that as ye smoke, so shall ye reek. Besides, I knew the punishment for smoking. My older brother Tim, who's a Baptist minister now, said, "They catch you smoking, they cut your lips off." So I found a can of spray deodorant, and I finished it all over my body. I found a full tube of toothpaste. I finished it too. Finally, I was able to approach my parents. "My, you smell nice, son. Thank you. Thank you very much." And that night, I crawled into bed, a satisfied smile stuck to my face. No one will ever know. My mother entered the room then. "How did it taste?" she asked. A supper? Very good, Mom. Thank you." "When I was a little girl," she said, "my grandpa let me smoke his pipe. I didn't much like it. How about you?" She could have cut my lips off, or preached at me, or quoted scripture. She could have reminded me that no amount of toothpaste or deodorant will cover my sins, that they really will find me out. She could have reminded me that the story doesn't end there, that because of what Jesus Christ did on an old rugged cross, we don't have to hide. We can approach God forever forgiven. Instead, she leaned over and kissed me gently on the forehead. "Smoking won't send you to hell, son," she whispered. "It'll just make you smell like you've been there." "Mom," I said, "how did you know?" She said, "Son, sometimes 10-year-old boys forget that their mothers have friends too." And I heard my father's voice coming from the bathroom. "Hey, has anyone seen the deodorant?" Looking back on my childhood, I'm thankful for rules, but I'm glad my parents left a legacy of amazing grace. It's a gift I don't deserve, coming along when I least expect it, changing everything forever. When we simply love the next generation, we leave footsteps worth following. You know, I pray often that God will give me the strength and wisdom to live like Mom and like Ruth Graham, leaving a lasting legacy of grace. The measure of our wealth is not in what we kept, but what we gave. Not what we made, but what we left. There is no legacy so rich and powerful as a godly example. You may not have had one, but you can be one today.